So today's video, I'm finally not going to be talking about an extreme demon, and for once I'm actually going to be reviewing an easy demon. Heave Ho is the newest event level, and is not an NCS level, and instead, this time, it's a level using the new song by Boomkitty and Teminite. To get right into the review, let's get the obvious thing out the way. The theming here is amazing. The level is able to capture the pirate theme perfectly, which I love, because the only other level that I can think of that's nailed the theme of like pirates is Black Flag. So this level is quite the specialty. In Heave Ho, you start off in a tavern, but the level is able to just seamlessly traverse into so many different themes and sections with ships, battles, underwater sections. It's amazing. It's actually so impressive how seamless it is. And my favorite part in this level, though, is just the sheer attention to detail. These sections not only flow really well together, like I said, but have so many small details in them that all add up to just make an amazing experience. Like this part, for example. You're actually breaking into the inside of the ship, and you're able to see everything inside the ship. This part very well could have just been wood and nothing else, but it's actually detailed on the inside. They went that far. In the Kraken fight, you can see that the Kraken pushes up every time it grabs onto something with its tentacles, like it's trying to actually climb and maneuver around the level to get to you. Again, didn't need to detail it that much, but the people did it anyways. The creators did it anyways. It's so amazing. I will say, sometimes though, it does go a bit overboard for its own good. For example, in the ending finale part here, you barely notice any of the detailed ideas because just so much is happening at once in an already climactic and fast section, and it all kind of just feels like a blur when playing. While that might not seem the case watching this clip, when you're actually doing inputs and playing the level and not paying as much attention to the decoration, it becomes an apparent issue. Like, for example, it wasn't until I was actually grabbing a showcase for this review that I noticed that the ending ship here is actually firing cannons at you. It's firing cannonballs. So, yeah, that's a bit of an issue for me. But I don't have many gripes. My only other gripe that I can think of with the pure decoration is just specifically this part. For one, it feels way more underwhelming compared to the rest of the level, and the whole idea of holding a sword seems like very wasted potential. During the whole part, you see the sword be used once, and it's not even for a physical part of the gameplay. It's just to cut a rope that you don't really even notice unless you're replaying the part to actually find out what your icon is cutting. Imagine if this sword was actually used instead to cut something, maybe holding a chain or a part of the structure in the level that otherwise would have killed you. You're basically breaking the gameplay that would kill you. I think that would be a cool idea. I just think it's a bit of wasted potential. Also, these skulls and the saw blades look very out of place, and I feel like they were only really used because the creator couldn't think of anything pirate related to add to the part, so they kind of just found a skull object in the editor and was like, hey, let's use this, stick on the saw blade, and there you go. It just feels like a bit odd. Otherwise though, great decoration all around the level. I'm a big fan. Personally though, what I think the level does best is its use of sound effects and making full use of the song given to it. Take for example the very beginning of the level. You can see in the back a bunch of people in the tavern, but they're actually hitting the tables to the beat of the music, which is just such a cool detail. Also in the same exact section, where the song says a bag full of gold in the lyrics, an actual bag of gold falls down when that happens. And when he says time to set sail, we are thrown into the dock near the sea where we are about to get onto a boat to sail. It's just very cool details. And here, there's more. I mean, in this part, a literal gun appears and then shoots at your icon to the beat of the music. I could go on for ages pointing out every small minute detail, but we could actually be here for years. So let's get to the final talking point, decoration-wise, and that's the backgrounds and cutscenes. I think the level is most known for its cutscenes, and I obviously see why. I mean, all I need to do is show you this part again, and you will understand why. Absolutely fantastic. This telescope part as well is amazing, as it tries to find your icon in a small boat and it's like moving around. It's just very fluid, really cool. Another great section, and again, another great section is this part where the background is a treasure map with Boomkitty's logo at the end. It's just, there's so much going on in this level that just gives it so much personality, and I love it. Speaking of the end, just look at how clean this flag animation is. I mean, the detail here is just amazing, and I'm sorry if this part of the review is really bland, but honestly, I don't have much to say because it's kind of obvious why these cutscenes are good. It's obvious that they're just really fluid, really polished, and are near perfect for a GD animation. Now we move on to the gameplay, and this is where I have a bit more problems with Heave Ho. The pre-drop is for the most part perfect and is really enjoyable and fun to play, but the gameplay in this section I'm a bit iffy on. It's a great concept and all, and for the most part I think it is indicated well, but I think it has a bit too many objects that can kill you, and this spike wall here at the end gives you very little time to react, and I guarantee most of you guys that beat this level at least died once here. Another tiny gripe is this square here. It's the only time we ever get a jump like this that can kill you, and it just feels way out of place. But again, that is literally one jump. That's not even hard. There's not much of an issue. I just think it's kind of an odd addition. Okay, as for the drop, I have a couple clicks in mind that I think could have been reworked. I don't know if it's just me, but this blue orb in the boat section feels like it gives you very little time to react, and even after practice, it just feels out of place. It doesn't flow as well as the rest of the gameplay surrounding it. As for this Holden section, I have seen a lot of hate on it with the community. I do think it's the one thing people dislike about this level the most, and personally, I think it's fine. It syncs with the music very well, and you're probably going into practice for the second half of this level anyways, since there is a difficulty spike, so I don't see it being an issue when you're actually going from zero, having practiced the level, but yeah. That does bring me to the topic, though, of sight readability. Personally, I'm fine learning an easy demon if the gameplay is really fun, and Heave Ho is no exception. The only part that I feel like I was practicing via absolute necessity was the ending, and I fluked it, so anyways, it wasn't an issue. The difficulty and the unsight readability wasn't that much of an issue. I bring this into question because hating on an easy demon because you can't sight read it has been a major gripe I've had for a while. And I feel like by wanting every single level you play to be sight readable, it kind of just means that you're too lazy to actually learn and understand a level, and just want the most produced, factory-made, one-attemptable version of a level so you can get your quick stars, get your quick demon count, and move on with your day completely, disregarding the time these people put into making a level. I want to make it very, very clear, though, having learny gameplay is not always a good thing 100% of the time. For example, Noel Electra, another event level, suffered from its gameplay feeling like a chore to play and learn, while Citadel, another event level, I thought was super enjoyable to practice and understand its wacky concepts. There's a difference between absolutely needing to practice a level because it's impossible without practicing it, or a level that's just slightly harder and has a bit weird gameplay that you need to practice to learn, but you're actually enjoying practicing it. And I do think Heave Ho is on that latter route of it being very enjoyable to practice, even if it's going to take you a bit more time to beat. Overall, I'm going to give Heave Ho an 8.6 out of 10. And to answer the question of if it's the best event level, I mean, kind of. Well, Citadel is still my favorite event level, and Boogie is still my favorite event level as an experience. Heave Ho, I do think, is just the more overall objective best event level. Obviously, nothing subjective with levels, but I do think it's just got the overall best execution of everything that makes a level good. It's just on average good in every department, and while I do think it should be a medium demon in difficulty, I still highly recommend everyone and anyone to play this level. You'll have a great time, trust me. Anyways, that's the end of the review. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, Discord server links in the description, and peace.